navigating temperament at, I said family functions, but it's really any function that you go to that you're not quite feeling like, hey, these are my people. And maybe they are your people and that they're your family and they have your back no matter what. But man, they might like to pick a little bit. You know, I don't know many families where you don't have that, either that one person or a group of people that make you feel like, okay, I wish I hadn't come today, or I wish I had put better armor on today, or I wish I had stayed away from that topic. And with that, I would love for you to stay away from topics that are controversial at these family events. And I know that there are a lot of people that just say to me, they just bring it up. They bring up how displeased they are with me homeschooling, or they'll say things like, hey, I want to talk to you about Johnny's schooling, or hey, I'd like to talk to you because it looks like Johnny's behind in reading because Sally was just reading and Johnny can't read that. You have to get really good at saying, thank you for your opinion. I don't share it. And you have to get really good at sort of deflecting those things before they happen. So I like to use temperament as sort of that deflection mechanism. If you are really good at knowing your own, or you are still trying to sort out your own, but you feel like you've got other people pegged, this will be a fun game for you. You want to show up the way that temperament needs you to. And you want to sort of be, I was trying to think of the right words. You want to, when somebody approaches you, whether it be controversial or not, you want to keep their temperament in mind. So if they are, say this is, Aunt June and she wants to come and talk to you about Johnny's reading, I want you to think about Aunt June. Think about, like, what is she? Is she phlegmatic and you could really appeal to her comfort? Is she melancholy and you just know that she just is so concerned about Johnny and what you're doing at home? And you know it doesn't come from a place of, like, being mean. It just comes from her, like, natural space of wanting to care about everybody except herself, or care about herself in reflection of everybody else. Or is she super sanguine and you could just change the conversation like that and go, hey, I know you really want to talk about Johnny and his reading, but I want to tell you about the Instant Pot. I just start talking to her about something else. Is Aunt June choleric, where she's like not going to like let up until she gets a choleric answer? So this is how I would approach Aunt June if she were choleric. I would say, Aunt June, I'm so glad you brought that up. We are really working on that. And I know it looks like he's struggling right now, but I've got it under control. This is what we're doing every week. And I appreciate you. And I appreciate the fact that you are so concerned. But you know what? I got it under control. What's really Aunt June is looking for is a fight or a way to invalidate you. So if you've got a relative that is choleric, you've got to meet them at that choleric space. So remember, a choleric will only yield to another choleric that they trust, or somebody acting as a choleric that they trust. So give them the words that they want to hear. And then I would say, excuse me, I'm going to go talk to Uncle George, who's not so judgmental. Don't say those words, but think it in your head. And then excuse yourself out of the situation. Do not, especially if you're not a choleric, do not sit there and try to banter with Aunt June, the choleric. Don't do it. Because if she's a choleric, she will argue you under the table. So don't do it. And how do I know this? Well, this is me, choleric. I was pre-law for a while, and yeah, I've been there. So you don't want to do it. You want to be able to disengage. You want to be able to say your piece, be confident in it. So don't go to any of these family functions if you're like, yeah, I sort of feel confident in who I am. I would sit it out, like literally sit it out. Otherwise, put on your big girl panties, your Brene Brown underpants. Right? So that's what the term was. We went to this training a few months ago, and everybody was talking about Brene Brown, and I was like, I don't even know what y'all are talking about. So then we had to watch her special, and it's about vulnerability, and it's okay to be vulnerable, but you want to put on those big girl pants, and you want to be like out there and ready to meet these family members. So again, that was if Aunt June's choleric. If Aunt June is sanguine, like I said, just talk to her about the Instant Pot. Just go, oh yeah, you don't worry about it. I got that covered. Hey, I got this new Instant Pot. Have you used it? And then just be like all about something else. She will forget that she even asked about reading. My guess is though, is she probably, if she's truly sanguine, she wouldn't be asking about that anyway. She might be thinking it when she left home. Hey, I got to talk to her about her reading because I just don't think that it's where it should be, but she'll forget when she gets there. She'll forget. So it's really easy to distract a sanguine generally. If she is phlegmatic, if Aunt June is phlegmatic and she's coming to talk to you about reading because she's just so concerned about Johnny and his reading, I would say use things like, I'm really comfortable with where he is right now. I'm really comfortable because I'm meeting his needs and he is coming along. And even though it doesn't look like it here, his reading is actually coming along and I feel really confident in it. So don't worry. Thank you so much for your concern. Validate Aunt June. And then sort of take the wind out of her sails. Not in a negative way, but as far as what she was saying. Now, the same if Aunt June is melancholy, you want to just say, I'm just so glad that you brought that up. I know that you are so concerned for him. And I can't tell you how much it makes me feel good that we have family members that are so concerned about Johnny and his education. I just want you to know that I spent a lot of time in research on what we are using, and I feel really good about it. If you'd like some information about Waldorf education, I'm happy to share it with you, because you know what? You will love the way it focuses on serving one another, the way it focuses on understanding other people. You want to lay it on thick, because that way she will be like, oh, okay, she's got this. And then you can, again, change the conversation. Do not dive into a deep conversation about whether it be homeschooling, whether it be attachment parenting, baby wearing, sleeping with your kids, all of those things. Don't go into any conversation thinking you're going to convert people, because that's not how it happens. Conversion of anything happens on a very spiritual level. So you can't convert somebody while you're screaming at them or while you're in a fight or conflict with them. So it's much better to step back, make a plan, and sort of work at it a little bit sideways. Sort of work at it from a place of, it would be great if they would support me, but I have to tell you, the biggest way you can get people to support you is to live what you say you are and work it. Because that's how you get people to go, oh, she's serious about this. This isn't just another one of her ideas that just came and went. She is serious about this. And you know what? We have been watching her be serious about this for the last 4 years. Maybe it's time we get on board. That's how you convert people. You convert by doing and allowing that space to fill up so that they can feel you actually being serious about something. So whenever you have, and all of us have family members that maybe are a little too questioning or a little too negative. And really what you have to do is you have to put yourself in the space of, it doesn't matter, it's a non-negotiable. Why are you having this conversation? Quite frankly, I was thinking back to, before I do what I do now, I was a lactation coach and consultant, and I was on the midwifery track. And so I knew it. I was confident in it. There was nobody that was going to sway me from it. So anytime I had any family conversation about, oh my gosh, he's eating again, as you have a baby at your breast and you've got your bra all down and everything like that. And, and oh my gosh, he's eating again. He is. And you just meet their gaze. It's the same. So you have to find something you're really, really confident in. If you are not confident in sort of what your path is right now about homeschooling and how you're sorting it out, Think about something you are really confident in. All of you have it. It might be gardening. It might be farming. It might be, it might be lactation, birth, and breastfeeding and women's issues. Find something that you're really confident in and close your eyes and get yourself centered in meditation about that feeling that you get when you start talking about that and how good you feel about it. That's the emotion you want to take to this, even if it's about a different subject, because you can have that same strength and emotion about what you're going to be attacked about at your family function as you do about the thing that you're really good at, if you show up that way. If, on the other hand, the whole way you're driving to this family function, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to deal with these people. Don't really want to do it. You're getting a pit in your stomach. You're talking yourself out of it, because here's the thing that I know. You can control your emotions. You can control how you feel. This stuff that's going on up here, all the crazy that starts to fire and go nuts, is all coming from you not being able to calm your brain down and overthinking. So if you did not catch our pieces on mindset that we did last month and the month before, May and June, go back and watch them or listen to them if you're listening to this on podcast. They are very helpful in helping you realize you absolutely control your thoughts. Absolutely. Doesn't mean it's not hard to control your thoughts sometimes, but you absolutely can control them. I did a little exercise with our 8-year-old the other day. And actually, I did it with everybody at the table. And I'm willing to do it with you here now. So if you're in a spot where you can close your eyes, close your eyes. And I actually hadn't planned to do this, so this is a bonus. Close your eyes and take your hand and put it over your heart. And this is a good, because we know that there are neurons in the heart like there are in the brain, and there's a heart-brain connection. We know this in Waldorf. We call it head, heart, and hands. Steiner talked about it over 100 years ago, but it's something that science is just not catching up to. So there are neurons in your heart that act like a brain. So put your hand over your heart and close your eyes and just listen to me for a minute. I want you to think about like something really, really happy. Now, for my daughter, when we did this, we had been talking about Jesus. And so if that's not your background, don't think about that. I want you to think about something that makes you super, super happy. And I asked her, what would you say to him if he was here right now? What would you do with him? What things would you want to show him in your room? Because she's in the 8-year-old place of wanting to show everybody everything. So I want you to think about things that make you really happy, because this lit her up like nobody's business. Big giant smile on her face, super excited. Again, eyes closed, hand over your heart. So I'm going to give you a second. Think about something really, really happy. Like so happy that you have a big smile on your face, and everybody around you, whether it be your children, will be like, why is she smiling? So I want you to be in that place. Okay, now I'm going to take you from there, and I want you to go someplace really dark. Really dark. Like something horrible that's happened in your life, something that you're really upset about, something that you feel no power with. See how fast I took you from being high as a kite, happy, to being sad. Now, I want you to take that space, and I want you to go right back to the first place that we were. Take a minute, because if you're doing this right, then your physiology changed when I told you to think about something sad. Like you got a pit in your stomach, your heart might have started pounding, and you started feeling really upset and angry, and you're like, why in the heck are you doing this to me, Melissa? So Soraya said to me, why would you say that to me? Why would you ask me to do that? I said, just do it. So now you're going to go back to that happy place. Go back to the happy place. Hand over your heart, breathing nice and slow, in and out, nice and slow, thinking about your happy place. Getting to your happy place. Being there, seeing it, like so happy that you have a smile on your face, like a big grin on your face would be great. Then you know you're in a happy place. Now, open your eyes. You can't be in both places at the same time. You just can't. You cannot be in this happy, joyful space where you are excited and you feel confident and everything's fun, and be in the down in the dumps place. So before you go into these family functions, do this exercise. Be in the happy place. It's the best way to stave off anxiety. It's the best way to get recentered, because that little exercise took less than a minute, and you can do that no matter where you are. You can do it in the car on your way there. You can step, if you didn't arm yourself properly and you got there and Aunt June is already needling you, guess what? You can say, excuse me, I'll be right back. You can go in the bathroom and stand in the stall or wherever and just do that. You can do it several times a day if you need to. That's how we change the track we're on. That's how we gain confidence about things that we're still unsure about. That's how we change the way people react to us. When we can come from that space of being happy, being centered, even if you have to do it often throughout the day, it's okay. It gives you then that space to kind of get quiet for a minute. Think about Aunt June, whoever it is that's needling at you, and think about what their temperament might be. Think about how confident you are in some other things. Get in that good, happy space. Then go out and meet them again. Then go out and greet them again. Don't go out there without any armor on. You have to armor yourself. And I'm saying this, we're talking about family functions. You have to wear that armor in many places, especially if you're going to go someplace and you're not going to be around people that think the way you do or that feel the way you do about things that are very important to you. So you want to sort of be in that space. That could very easily translate into, even with your partner. If you're still struggling to get some of these ideas through to your partner, don't go at it raw. Put some armor on. Get to a space where you feel really good, and then go forward. It will help you feel good about yourself. It will help you navigate these situations. It'll help you navigate your children. There's nothing more fun than not being completely rested and having a child start picking at you. And you allow those emotions to come up. You allow those emotions of inadequacy, like, I just don't know how to meet this child. You allow that to come up. So go get centered. Go get centered. I have stopped mid-yell before and said, you know what? I'll be right back. Because I don't want to say something I'll regret. So it's better to stop yourself and walk away, take a deep breath. And I absolutely have said to a child, I need you to stop following me. I need to walk in here because if I keep talking, I'm going to say something mean. So you stand right here. I'll be back. But you got to say it with some authority. Oh no, honey, I need a few minutes. Don't do it like that. I need you to stop. Get very firm in what you're saying so that you can not yell. And then go shut the door, stand on the other side, stand in the closet. I don't care where you have to stand. Pretend you're going to the bathroom. Shut the door. Breathe deep, because it all starts with breathing deep. What happens when we're breathing really shallow? There's not enough oxygen going up here. Those neurons are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So like lots of deep breaths, 5 or 10, before you start to then go into a meditation space of, this is what I want. Don't activate these heart neurons until you're ready to actually think about, what you're doing. I want you, as you're sort of going through your day to day, to take times to stop, put your hand over your heart, breathe in deep, and go to your happy place. And your happy place doesn't have to be someplace that has actually happened yet. It could be something that you're excited about to happen in the future. That's how you attract it to yourself, by being in that excited space. So go to that space and get excited and get happy, and try not to think about the Aunt Junes of your life. What happens when you think about them, like especially if Aunt June is on your mind when you're not even with Aunt June, guess what? You are attracting more strife from Aunt June. So just be like, I can't think about her. She's too negative. And just don't think about her. Think about somebody nice. Think about somebody in your family that you totally love, rather than thinking about somebody that's always picking at you. Have a great week.